This episode of Robot Rumble is once again brought to you by Part and Parcel, the new football podcast featuring our host and commentator, Patrick Epworth. On this week's episode of Part and Parcel, we discuss the League Cup final, why Graham Potter isn't working at Chelsea, and we continue our journey of Super League and let die our journey into the Turkish Super League. Check out the description for the link to the episode. Now let's get on with Robot Rumble. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final group of this season's Robot Rumble. And let me tell you, this is one of the most competitive groups we have ever had in the history of Robot Rumble. We have two newcomers, a former finalist and a former semi-finalist. Only one can get a place in the quarterfinals, with the other machine getting a place in the Runner Up Rumble. Without further ado, let's meet the star-spangled teams in tonight's heat. This week we have two deadly-looking newcomers and two very experienced all-stars. It's anybody's guess what could happen. First up, we have Witch Doctor. They've competed in every season of Robot Rumble, and while not the most successful, have learnt all that is required to take the crown. With a well-armoured vertical spinner to boot, it could be Witch Doctor's year. Minotaur is our other well-versed veteran in tonight's lineup. Runner-up last season, their deadly drum spinner is capable of tripping up all opponents. With some weak top armour, Minotaur is extremely vulnerable to axes. Whiplash brings dual weaponry to Robot Rumble for the first time. A lifter and spinner combination seems like a deadly combination, but it is an untested one. Still, Whiplash is a dark horse for the title for me, and should be watched very closely. And finally, SawBlaze makes its debut tonight. It brings a hammer saw, the first of its kind, to Robot Rumble, and once again, while untested in battle, it certainly looks like it could cause a problem or two for our fellow competitors. Can the newcomers get one over on the veterans? Looking at the machines, I think it's certainly possible, and this is how they line up in round one. The veterans go head-to-head first, as Witch Doctor takes on Minotaur.
Roboteers, stand by.
Right, Roboteers, stand by.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So these two have got quite the fight history. They've fought each other in every mainline season of Robot Rumble so far. Minotaur usually comes out on top, but maybe, just maybe, Witch Doctor have found the antidote to their Minotaur woes, and already a massive panel thrown off, so it looks like they've not discovered anything so far. They have that big strong panel at the front to Witch Doctor, but absolutely no problem for Minotaur, who have ripped it off there, as both machines very moveable. Oh, that's a big slam there from Witch Doctor. The top panel of Minotaur cleaved away here. A lot of damage being scored here. And we're going to take a look back on this drive here. Bang, straight in, and the panel went flying. It's always been a weak top panel on Minotaur, as we said at the start of the show. And it's coming to fruition here in this first fight. Oh, and Minotaur, what are they doing? Oh, they got stuck in the flipper there. Careening, crazy. Both these machines with plenty of experience, and they're showing that right now as Minotaur goes onto the floor flipper. Minotaur with a little bit more manoeuvrability, and oh no, Minotaur! Oh no, the flipper isn't meant to trap robots, but that's exactly what's happened here. It's been upgraded for this season. It finally flips robots over, but we didn't expect this. We didn't expect to be trapped underneath, and they're not getting out of there. Well, let's look at the replay. So unfortunate. Minotaur trying to dodge around the back and get the slam on. They've driven over the floor flipper, and it's just flicked them up, and then they've just driven in. And unfortunately, it means it's a knockout win for Witch Doctor. So Witch Doctor finally ending the Minotaur curse, getting 3 points there for a knockout. Yeah, Roboteers, stand by.
3, 2, 1, activate.
So it's a chance for the new blood to have a go, to get points off each other early on here, to get their Robot Rumble campaigns, their maiden voyages into the tournament off and underway in both these machines. already very quick across the arena floor. Both of them have got dual weaponry. We've never seen robots that sort of combine weapons together. We've got the lifter spinner of Whiplash and then the hammer saw of SawBlaze, who will come out on top here. Both these machines with the ability to control a fight. As in goes SawBlaze here on Whiplash. And a little bit of paneling has come off there. As both these machines maneuver around each other. SawBlaze looking to get the disc in there, and both discs clashing together as they shove each other into the corner. They're locking horns, and SawBlaze really trying to get that blade in as they both back away here into the center of the arena. Whiplash sustained a little bit of damage so far. Oh, and a little backhand there from Whiplash onto SawBlaze. Both of them just reversing into each other right now. Maybe they're finding that's the easier strategy to get their blades in on one another. As SawBlaze does a dance, and in goes Whiplash. Can they throw SawBlaze out of the arena here? SawBlaze caught in the corner. They're trapped on their own forks. How embarrassing. And Whiplash just couldn't finish them off. They could have flipped them out of the arena there, but they were unable to. So they'll go again here. Try and get that underneath, but SawBlaze underneath first with that dustpan. It's a very effective strategy in robot combat. We've never seen it in Robot Rumble. We've never seen designs like this on either Robot Rumble competitors before. And that was a huge slam from Whiplash. In round the back, on the back wheel first. Then Whiplash reversed away and came straight in. There's slam number one. Another panel came off Whiplash, but that was huge. Look at that. It was the front fork of SawBlaze sent flying into the air. And that will count as massive points here from the judges if it goes that far to the judges. In goes SawBlaze with the slam, getting them into the corner. They're having a bit of trouble here, SawBlaze. Keep wheeling on backwards, doing the wheelie. It's all wheelie good, though, for us watching at home. As SawBlaze drives into the screws but escapes. And both machines just resetting here to come on the attack. Ooh, swing and a miss from SawBlaze. And a big slam there from Whiplash onto the floor flipper. And over goes Whiplash. Now, can Whiplash self-right using the lifter? Yes, they can. Fantastic stuff here. So good. We're going to watch it again. It was poor drive. It was a good slam, actually, from Whiplash. From SawBlaze even. And then Whiplash sent upside down. But a fantastic recovery here from Whiplash. Straight over. No problems. An easy self-right there. It's been a fantastic battle from these two so far, easily warranting their place in the championship. These two newcomers, both of these robots could go all the way, but they've got to navigate a tough group so far, and they've got to navigate each other first, and this fight is not over, and it's going to be over within 10 seconds. As both these robots continue to fight, it is going to go to the judges, who will judge on aggression, control and damage. It could go either way.
Cease.
And it does go to the judges. Let's look at what they'll be scoring on. Let's look at some of the best bits. So this was a good slam early on. And off went the panel of Whiplash, you can see on the right-hand side there. And then this was a major moment. Whiplash, little lift on the tyre, then in once. Good slam, good aggression, and then in with this other slam. And the panel went flying. And then, obviously, SawBlaze scoring a lot of points here. Onto the floor flipper. But then, don't forget, there will be points here for control because of how easily Whiplash recovered. As we all went wild in the arena. And then another good bit of attacking here from Whiplash. Both these machines stuck together. And there went the other panel on the front there. And that was just before the end of the fight. Could be crucial. And the judges have scored the fight, and they've given Whiplash the win here on the judges' scorecard, which means they'll get 2 points for the judges' decision win. SawBlaze will receive a point for taking it to the judges, but losing. So it means that it's all pretty tight up the front of the table at the moment as we go into round 2, where Minotaur will fight SawBlaze and Whiplash will fight Witch Doctor. But first we'll do the first fight, obviously, which is Minotaur versus SawBlaze.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
Both of these machines lost their first round fights, so it's important for them to get the win to jump-start their Robot Rumble campaigns. Minotaur, of course, runner-up last season. SawBlaze new to the competition, but SawBlaze looks mighty menacing. And oh, there's a big slam already. And look at that, a panel's gone cleaved off of Minotaur. What a slam that was from SawBlaze, the green machine. And now Minotaur's on the edge of the pit, but they've recovered just away. But what a start to the fight this was for SawBlaze. Straight in. And look at that, ripping the panel off of Minotaur. We've never seen someone manhandle Minotaur to this degree. And look, off went the top panel as well. It's Minotaur's worst nightmare. It is an overhead spinning weapon. And right now, they look a bit punch drunk as SawBlaze looks to navigate the pit. They've got to be real precise with their driving here. Of SawBlaze here at the bottom of your picture. They have navigated the pit. No accidental pittings there. Oh, and that was a big slam. And SawBlaze so close to the edge of the pit. And they almost drove in, and now Minotaur's almost in, and now SawBlaze, they're on the edge. Surely a push from Minotaur, they've escaped. Oh my lordy. Both these machines, and now SawBlaze is stuck under the flipper, almost doing what happened to Minotaur in the first fight of the night. But both of these machines recovering again, but Minotaur's on the edge again. What is with this pit drama? Both of these machines skirting the edge of oblivion, and that's a big slam from SawBlaze straight into Minotaur, shoving them into the screws and really manhandling them once again. They're the perfect size, Minotaur, to fit into that scooped front wedge of SawBlaze, who are now slamming Minotaur back into the corner here, down by this camera. It's a real job here that SawBlaze are putting on Minotaur, who've just not recovered so far. I don't see any situation where they've scored points on damage so far, or aggression, or control. It's been all SawBlaze to me, and oh, what a slam. Straight into the screws, our new hazard for this season, and SawBlaze almost in the pit again. There's been so much brinkmanship here from both machines around the pit in this fight. I'm amazed no one's driven in yet. It seems to me that robots drive into the pit all the time in Robot Rumble, and yet they haven't tonight. Now, a little bit slower pace now. SawBlaze just lining up Minotaur maybe for a push towards the deadly pit, and oh, they've just dodged away. Having trouble with the floor flipper again, and oh, both machines almost on the edge of the doom once again. But Minotaur is surviving here, though not thriving, and there can't be much long left of this fight for them to score the necessary points. In fact, we're in to the last 10 seconds, and there's been some massive flips there on the floor flipper on Minotaur, who did a little hop, skip and a jump. But it is going to go to the judges here. So our second fight that's gone to the judges tonight, and let's look at what they'll be scoring on. Well, first off, just all the points here being collected by SawBlaze. Straight in with some mighty aggression and some mighty damage on the runner-up from last year. And then a little bit of brinkmanship from both the machines. SawBlaze on the edge of doom. And then Minotaur almost on the edge as well. It was a little bit insane. And then this was a huge slam. They got them just underneath and then bang into the corner. Then shuffling them across the screws and then getting that disc right in on the tyre. It was a master performance here from SawBlaze. This is only their second fight in their Robot Rumble career. And they've manhandled a former runner-up. Oh, straight into the screws again. Surely there can only be one winner. And then a little bit of acrobatics. It's not great control from Minotaur, who were pretty punch-drunk by this stage. They'd scored good points in the Olympics, though. Some good landings. And as you can see by the table, the judges did indeed score the win to SawBlaze, who pick up the 2 points for the judges' decision win. It puts them on 3 points level with Witch Doctor, who will be fighting Whiplash next. Minotaur need a Witch Doctor win so that they don't get detached at the bottom of the table here.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So the two winners from the first round now go head to head, and that was a big slam to start with. Now, the important thing to note is that Witch Doctor's not got a Shremek, but right now they don't need it, because look, they're getting underneath, and they're just pushing the yellow machine around here. Both these machines very, very similar in design. Four-wheel drive vertical spinners, but the difference maker could be that lifter on Whiplash. As Witch Doctor just trying to navigate around here. A lot more experience in Robot Rumble does Witch Doctor. We're coming in now on the slam. Ooh, Whiplash caught on the flipper there. Got to re-maneuver, they just keep hitting the lip there. And Whiplash manoeuvring away here. Now, can Witch Doctor get a good slam here? No, not quite. It's a very tactical battle, this one. Not as frenetic as some of the other fights so far tonight. Whiplash just can't get a good purchase with that lifter. Oh, they've backed away here, and they're on the edge of the pit, but they've moved away from the red danger line. Oh, but they've missed.
Cease.
Oh, that was very, very unfortunate. And Witch Doctor is... Oh, dear, Witch Doctor. Oh, he's managed. So let's look at that again. Let's see what happened. Let's diagnose this final slam. It was a good slam, and they just overcooked it. So it was quite an even fight, that one. And that could have gone all the way to the judges, and I bet they would have had trouble there scoring it. But in the end, it is a fortunate knockout for Witch Doctor, who go to the top of the table with 6 points. A nice, healthy lead going into the final round of fights. Whiplash there in third on 2. And this is the final 2 fights tonight. Round 3, it will be SawBlaze against Witch Doctor, coming up very soon. But first, it's Minotaur against Whiplash. Minotaur have got to get a win here by knockout to pull themselves back into contention.
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
So it's do or die for Minotaur, the runner-up in what has been a season of shock so far. Can Minotaur avoid coming last in the group, which would be a huge shock for the Brazilian drum spinner? Decked out with that bull on the front. Oh, and there's a lovely little lift from Whiplash. And now Minotaur in all kinds of trouble. They've managed to get away, but they've sustained so much damage there from that early attack. It does not look good for the Brazilians. Let's watch that again. They did push Whiplash into the corner. They caused a little bit of damage there. But then, look at this lift from Whiplash. Lifted them up, and then the back panel came off. Or the top panel, I should say. And then Minotaur was crabbing on its rear. I've never seen Minotaur in this sort of precarious position. And look, the panel got thrown off. And it was just a massacre in the corner there. And now, Minotaur have got to come again. But they sustained the same damage they sustained against SawBlaze. Oh, big slam from Whiplash, the newcomer here, who is the second newcomer in a row here to appear to be manhandling Minotaur. And they've lifted them up again. And Minotaur are resting on their back. And they're sort of crabbing. What are they doing? They're using the drum to sort of crawl along the arena. Is that controlled movement? I don't think the judges agree with us. They're counting down Minotaur. This does not constitute as controlled movement. And it means that Minotaur are going to lose on knockout.
Cease.
Oh my lordy, what a way to lose. In went Whiplash with the lift. We'd seen it happen in the corner only a few moments before. And while Minotaur were moving, that is not controlled movement. Oh, and a big slam into the screws. And Whiplash is really taking it out on the runners-up, who are out of Robot Rumble. We've lost both grand finalists from last year. Isn't that insane? So that is how the table looks going into our final fight of the night. Witch Doctor topped the table with 6 points. Whiplash just in behind. So they'll be going to the Runner Up Rumble. It's the best they can hope for. They've got to really hope that SawBlaze do not pick up any points here. Minotaur going home. But it's time for the final fight. It could be all to play for. If SawBlaze win, they will be in the next round. If Witch Doctor can take it to the judges at the very, very least, they will be through to the next round. It's all to play for. How exciting! Ah!
Roboteers, stand by. 3, 2, 1, activate.
This is the closest to a heat final you can get in Robot Rumble. A win for SawBlaze will see them into the knockout round on their debut campaign. If Witch Doctor can take it to the judges, even if they lose, they will go through. Obviously, they'll want to get the knockout for pride to get the full 9 points. Not many teams have managed to do that this season. It's been a very competitive set of groups this year, as this is the final one. Oh, and there's big damage there to Witch Doctor. Don't think I've ever seen that before. The rib cage at the top cleaved away by the disc and thrown out of the arena. SawBlaze have become so strong in these group fights. They've really grown into the competition. Oh, and there's a bit of damage there caused by Witch Doctor. It's the front prong, but SawBlaze are pushing Witch Doctor towards the pit. They're almost through. Just one more push and they're in. SawBlaze into the knockout round. So there was a bit of damage caused there by Witch Doctor, ripping the front prong away. But then SawBlaze dug in deep and pushed the Florida machine towards the edge of the pit. And then with one almighty shove into the pit. SawBlaze are through. And there is confirmation of our final Group E standings. SawBlaze top with 6 points. They actually have the same number of points as Witch Doctor, but remember, when the teams are tied on points, their head-to-head encounter is taken into account, and we just saw SawBlaze beat Witch Doctor. So as a result, SawBlaze finish first. In third, unlucky because they scored a decent amount of points, is Whiplash with 5 points. We'll hope to see them next year, maybe in a less tough group. Will help them progress further. And it's unlucky for Minotaur. The runners-up from last year are out with only a point to their name. That is the end of the group. Another finalist falls tonight here on Robot Rumble. Minotaur, runner-up last season, is out of the competition, dead and buried. They'll be going home along with Whiplash, who we hope to see again next year. Witch Doctor ends up in the dreaded runner-up Rumble, while SawBlaze ends up in the quarterfinals, which are now looking like this. We're just waiting for 3 teams left to join them from the runner-up Rumble, which you will see at the start of next week's episode, the grand final. That's all we have time for tonight on Robot Rumble. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week for the grand finale.